What's up, Rumble and YouTube? What's going on? On Bigo app, it's a live streaming app. It's always funny when you get these people from these big cities that think that their big city ways will fly in a small town. If you remember what the song says, try it in a small town and see what happens. See if you get past the city limits or whatever, you'll end up in jail. It's always funny. These black liberals, the white liberals, all these people, they're promoting this thuggish criminal mentality. They're trying to destroy America, promote Marxism and everything. And you'll hear me talk about it a lot. The Burrow Network. The Burrow Network actually exposes a lot of this. It's actually quite educational, if you may, let me put it that way. Because the videos I'm watching, it's talking about Marxism, socialism, how they implement it. That socialism is the first step, communism is the next step, Marxism is the next step, and then dictatorship, the ultimate step. But yeah, it's actually quite amusing how these people that are supposed to be from the world, or these colleges that are supposed to be the most elite colleges in the world, you know, like Harvard or Stanford or whatever, they're actually quite armpits of the college community. They're actually the buttholes. I wouldn't call them armpits, I'd call them buttholes. It's like people that send their kids to Harvard are just putting their kids into financial slavery. Because what kid is going to do basket weaving and make every year over $500,000 a year to pay back student loans? Not going to happen. So actuality, anytime you send your kids to college, you're putting them into slavery. See, these colleges are a scam, man. You can't tell me that it costs that much to go to college. I don't care what college you go to, 10,000, 8,000. I don't care. Go to trade school. You'll be better off. I'm telling you. Insurance is a scam. Colleges is a scam. It's all owned by the same people. You know, BlackRock, Vanguard. Oh, talking about Vanguard. Did you know Nexum? You know, the sex cult. Vanguard is the leader of Nexum, the sex cult, you know, the pedophile cult, the ones that enslave women with this belief of empowerment. And they want non-binary. Do you want to know where it comes from? Look up Nexum sex cult, out of Hollywood and all that. Look them up. Come on, Jack. But yeah, you look them up and you start seeing where the connections are. On Burrow Network, they got a whole video series on just Nexum and the sex cults and Pedogate and Pizzagate and all these others. And I watched it. Mind-blowing. Wow. Because I did not realize that Hillary Clinton, I knew they did sex trafficking and pedophile and stuff like that. I didn't realize they were part of Nexum. They are. Let alone a lot of Hollywood stars and everybody else. So actuality, you sit back and you watch all this stuff, and you watch these videos and you start connecting dots. So once you start connecting dots, you start to realize how corrupt the system is. BlackRock, Vanguard. See, Vanguard, the name, actually comes from a video game way back in the day. And Vanguard would destroy everybody, all enemies. It doesn't matter. If you're an enemy, they destroy you. That's what the name of the game. It's like Asteroids. Or whatever, that one where you got the ship and you're going. But anyways, yeah. So actuality, you got these people that are so hooked into the propaganda and all this bullshit. Come on, Jack. No. Come on, Jack. But they're all hooked into the bullshit and the propaganda and stuff. Come on, Jack. Come on. But yeah, it, through the rap music, the video games, the movies, they're so hooked into it that they can't even separate themselves from it. And it's pretty sad when you think about it. They're so involved with it that they'll spend thousands upon thousands of dollars to these companies that are owned by these corporations, these shell corporations. And these shell corporations are working and actively working on destroying your rights and your freedom. That's all they want you to do, is be a influencer or a game person that plays video games all day long, and you're shoving poison down your throat, and you're overweight and you smell stinky, and you're wearing diapers just because you've been playing for 72 hours. See, that's what they want. Is they want people that don't think for themselves, unhealthy, can't fight back. This is all planned. And if you watch all this stuff where the pedophiles and all this stuff have parties, you know, Vanguard would have parties. Epstein's Island is not too far from the owner of Vanguard's Island, and all these other different islands are right there together. So they would have these parties, and they would recruit these gullible women into this cult, and they would say, hey, we'll promise you the world. Well, I'm sure they will. Even the devil promises you the world. He promised Jesus the world. He can't give it because he doesn't own it. So they make up all this BS, and there's a guy on Bigo that claims to be Jesus, claims to be Yahweh. He claims to be all this. And as far as I remember, blasphemy, if you claim to be God or in place of God, that's blasphemy. Hey, come on. But you got all these people that are doing all this stuff, outright blasphemy, and you're sitting back and watching it. If you support this by watching their movies and watching their TV shows and rap music and music, rock music and country music and all this, if you support it in any way, shape, or form, you're actually reinforcing them to continue doing what they're doing. So actuality, come on, Jack. When you support it, you're actually supporting the torture and abuse of children. And you're supporting the trafficking of children. When you support Hollywood, you're supporting the trafficking and the bloodletting, adrenochrome, and all this other stuff that goes along with it. You're supporting it. So the people I blame for not waking up are those people that are willingly staying asleep. They don't want to know because it's easier to comply. It's easier to give up your rights. It's easier just to say, oh, well, I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Nope, don't care. Because if it doesn't affect me, eventually it's going to affect you. So it's easier to stay asleep. It's easier to give up your freedom and be a part of all this. It's easier just to go along with the flow of everything and turn your back on those children that are being abused and murdered and everything else, or those police officers that are violating rights and freedom. It's easier to turn your back and say, well, I support the blue line no matter what. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Someday it will. And I hope that you get educated, that you understand your freedom, and you understand what's going on. Because if you don't understand, then you ain't going to know what to do. You know, you ain't going to know what to say. And when you go to court, you're going to end up saying something stupid. See, even me, with my anxiety bipolar, I got to be careful what I say around certain people, law enforcement, or government, or whatever, because they're going to try to use that against you and manipulate you and control you and destroy you for the things you say. So I always say, go get on Burrow Network, go watch The Greatest Show on Earth, and go watch The Great Awakening, and then watch all the rest of them from the CIA connections and everything else. Go watch everything. Go get educated, because we're only going to win this fight as if America wakes up. We're only going to win this fight as if the people of America stop burying their head in the sand and stop saying, well, it doesn't affect me, I don't care. That's the only way we're going to win this fight, is if we start fighting back at local levels, going on up to Biden. Biden is done. He is done for, because they have so much information on him. Hunter Biden is done for. And the dominoes will eventually fall, because what's done in the dark will come to light. So y'all, go get educated. Go look up the Burrow Network on Roku. Go get your Roku. Go get it. Go look up the Burrow Network. Because if you look up the Burrow Network, I'm telling you, your mind will be blown. I mean, absolutely blown. And then go look up First Amendment audits, cop watching, and everything else, and Lackluster, and Here's the Deal, and on YouTube and everything else. Go look up all this constitutional freedom being exercised. Expose your mind to the truth, because your mind will start to wake up and connect dots and realize that law enforcement and government is not out for your freedom. They're out to take away your freedom and your rights. Y'all have a good day. God bless.